Today I'm talking about some slight spoilers from The Rising Storm. The book has only been out for a week, so just in case you haven't read it yet and you want to, here's your warning. The High Republic Adventures issue 5 recently gave us our first visual depiction of Marchion Ro's face. Not long after the reveal, High Republic author Charles Soule tweeted, "For those enjoying, Marchion Ro doesn't look like that by accident. He doesn't act like that by accident either." That is incredibly vague, but I'm going to run through some of Marchion's newly revealed history from the book today, and then maybe try to speculate on what Soule meant by that. Let's start real quick in Light of the Jedi, where we first hear some of Ro's past. He, and at least his family, clearly have some past with the Jedi Order. He knows about mind tricks and how to resist them. He learned about how to imprison a Jedi from his grandmother, who also learned from her grandmother. Marchion is bitter about the Jedi and their belief that every action they take is right and good, and says his family learned that to its cost long ago. He also thinks about the purple artifact he has, saying that it was almost as fully to blame for what happened to his ancestors as the Jedi. So it sounds like a long time ago the Jedi ran into Marchion Ro's ancestors and nearly wiped them out. So let's jump into The Rising Storm. Ro travels to the planet Talor, where his family seems to live, because he meets up with an old cousin of his. She seems relieved that he has, quote, returned to the path with a capital P, and takes him to a shrine where some sort of monster called the Leveler is held captive. Ro's people brought it to Talor long ago, and it sounds like they revered it, not as a god, but as an agent of balance. The cousin says she longs to look upon the monster, to feel its nullifying peace, as her ancestor did long ago. It's interesting that she says ancestor, singular, and not plural. Whatever his ancestors thought of the Leveler, Marchion sees it as a prize, something to be used and weaponized. We read bits and pieces about whatever belief system Marchion's family practices. His cousin asks if he still practices the rituals, but he denies that. He asks how many of the faithful are left, and his cousin replies, "The faithful, not enough. You've seen it out there, seen them, with their golden robes and flashing blades, so resplendent, so glorious, the guiding light of the galaxy. They're guiding us to destruction. The faithful know it as we knew it on Jedha, as we knew it on Dalna, but the recreants are in the ascendant, and the tide can no longer be turned." So again, that's more evidence of a long-forgotten conflict with the Jedi. Ro's cousin asks if he has come to bring them hope, and asks if he will reopen the hand with a capital H and deliver the message. I have no idea what that means, but in Light of the Jedi, he does claim that his goal is to accomplish what his ancestors could not, and a phrase repeated between Ro and his cousin is, "Balance will come." That seems to be their mantra. The final bit from the book that we can say for sure is that no member of the Nihil knows much about Ro's lineage or his species, described as having slate gray skin and pitch black eyes. But Marchion's cousin is noted as having tattoos on her face that are similar to the lightning bolt symbol of the Nihil. So I think it's likely that the Nihil arose from whatever belief system Marchion's people once followed, and then changed drastically over time. So we've got an unknown species with a grudge against the Jedi because they came into conflict with each other a long time ago and the Jedi beat them. I think they probably had some philosophical differences that led to a religious war, especially with the mention of Jedha, and knowing that's a significant planet for a lot of belief systems, not just the Jedi. Maybe Ro's people believed in balance, but not in the way that the Jedi do. I do find it interesting that these people seem to not be Force users, and they revere the Leveler, which, quote, cleanses any Force sensitive, or at the very least diminishes their abilities to use the Force while in its presence. I've seen the idea thrown around that Marchion Ro could be related to the original Sith species. I don't hate that idea. Obviously, they would be very different from the red-skinned aliens of Legends, but their reverence of the Leveler is throwing me off that track a bit. I get the sense that they would equally disdain the Sith in the way that they use the Force. I think we're seeing something new here. A new species, a new organization. The High Republic has been introducing a ton of new concepts, which is one of the things I love most about it. Of course, we've got the Jedi and lightsabers and starfighters and the Republic, but I really think the Project Luminous writers want to make their mark on Star Wars and develop new ideas instead of bringing the Sith back again. So, at the end of the day, I have no idea why Charles Soule tweeted about Marchion's appearance. It feels like a riddle to be solved, but I honestly don't think we can do that right now. I think when all is said and done, or maybe in a few stories from now, we'll be able to look back and say, oh, that's what he meant. But for now, I think he's teasing information to be learned later rather than trying to hint at something we should have already caught. But hey, if you have any theories, I would love to read them in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel to keep up with all our High Republic coverage, follow us on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.